Hello, what is going on? It is Doug Cunnington here from Niche Site Project, and this is the first time I've gone live in several weeks, maybe even over a month. I'm not sure. So I'm going to answer a few questions today. They're questions that were submitted via comment, so they are pulled up back there, and I'm going to just have a quick look. So thanks everyone who actually sent in a comment and stuff. And that also means if you ever have a question, just ask it on any video anytime, and I'll probably try and find it. It's a perfect way for me to get like new ideas for videos and blog posts and all that stuff. If you are a long-time viewer and stuff, I appreciate it. And sorry I've been absent for a while, but there's a few things going on. I'll quickly explain just for the beginning of this video, but I will also, and folks, I see a couple people hopped on. Thank you for that. Let me know. Can you hear me okay? Audio good? Is the audio good? It's always hard to tell. Anyway, so I owe a few explanations. I will maybe give like a longer explanation sometime more in the future. Thank you folks for letting me know. Oh, Jaren's on. What's going on? One of the kind moderators. Okay. Um, Number one. Okay, some people say the audio is okay, but not great. We're doing what we can today. So part of it is I've been burned out, right? So doing Q&As most weeks, probably 80% or more of the weeks and over the last year. Okay, someone's complaining about the video, but we just have to deal with it for what we have right now. All right. So number one, burnout. There's a little bit of burnout. So I was basically answering the same questions over and over again. It was incredibly boring for me. Okay, it was incredibly boring. And then there's other issues like tech issues. So I thought I was going to hop on here, do a quick video, and then 3, 4 people are saying the audio and the video is not very good. I apologize for that. So we do what we can. And a lot of times there's frustration, even if I'm just trying to hop on quickly. Okay, so that was number one. I just got burned out. So I was like, hey, I'll just take a break. There's no big deal. I have no obligation. I basically make zero money and get very little out of the YouTube channel. So it's really cool because like there's a whole community around it and stuff. But the problem is I just needed a break. Number two is we're moving. We're moving soon, and a lot of things developed. Everything was pending for quite a long time, but we're moving from Bozeman down to Boulder, Colorado. And we found out a couple weeks ago we're leaving in a couple weeks. We're selling our house. We're finding a new place. It's busy, and basically, you end up with prioritizing what you have to do. So you just have to prioritize, and live streams are and publishing new videos and stuff was a lower priority. Although I will tell you right now, before I answer the handful of questions here, couple very exciting things. So we have some updates from our success stories from a while back. So it is what do we have? We have Marty, and we have Duke, and we also have Evan. So I got 3 new success story updates about 8 to 10 months later. Everybody's making more money. Everybody tried out different work, and now we have these updates, and I'm going to publish them next week. So keep an eye out for those. All right. So I'm going to publish them next week. The other part of the actually, let's just get to the questions. We got plenty of time to explain things in the future. So let's see here. What kind of questions do we have? Okay, ZH asks me, should I post? Oh, and I could even show you the stuff that we're looking at here. So ZH is asking me if he or she should post all 10 of their posts at one time, or if they should post once a month. They could do whatever they want. I would say publish it as quick as possible. That is usually the best route to go. And then William Ron has 4 questions for me, which is great. He put it in a list format, so I really appreciate that. And let's see here. Let me just hop in, and I'll say hi to as many people as I can. So William, Rock, we got Gaz, what's going on? Um, do not enter, what's going on? Sorry if the quality isn't as high as some other times, but I am using my phone right now. Hiking Gear Lab, what's up? You've been leaving some cool comments. Thanks. And then we have Sub. What's happening? We got Saver. All right. And people understand the burnout. Other people like to have the videos, and we're doing what we can. Adrian says you're getting close to $500, so fingers crossed. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So William says, how much do I pay for 1,000 words? So typically it's between like 15 and $20 for 1,000 words. Question 2 from William Ron says, what is the average length of informational and money content article? I would say this is a broad range and perhaps not helpful because it's not a very it's a broad general question, so a broad general answer is not helpful, but I will answer it anyway. I would say probably 1,800 words or so, but some are shorter. A lot are shorter, and there's only a handful that are outliers that are very long that skews that number. So not very helpful. Do I place affiliate links in informative articles? The answer is yes, if it is helpful. And what's about premium ad placement on your website? Do you use them, or do I depend only on Amazon affiliate? Generally, I just use Amazon affiliate monetization. However, informative articles, it may be very relevant to place ads instead. And I've recently been working with media.net, and I'll actually have a video and stuff coming out before too long on media.net. They seem to be doing a great job overall. So I will be publishing more information about that. Moving on. A couple people are mentioning your KGR, the keyword golden ratio, works really well. Don Kurisu says, do I have an opinion on how the KGR, the keyword golden ratio, relates or correlates with the keyword competitiveness from Longtail Pro? I don't, my opinion, my completely uninformed opinion is that it doesn't correlate very well. I don't think you're getting much value these days from the KC number from Longtail Pro. I haven't used the caveat, and the uninformed part is I haven't used Longtail Pro in a pretty long time, but I'm pretty sure that the KC number, the keyword competitiveness, was pretty relevant and helpful. Maybe when it first came out, because it was kind of a nice way to summarize some values. But nowadays, it seems to be, or at least the last few times that I tried it, it was kind of unhelpful. I'll just say it that way. It wasn't very helpful, but I should actually get in touch with the Longtail Pro people and find out what is going on and, chat with them about it. Okay. Pushing on further, William Ron also says to not stop doing the Q&A session. So I got a lot of people that were asking about it, and I think perhaps, I'm not 100% sure, I think there were a lot of people that were watching and kind of enjoying it that basically they weren't asking beginner questions, and that's the issue where I'm like, oh man, you could look up that you could look up that question. There's literally a video on it already. So after I got those same ones like 40 times or so, I was like, I got to take a break from this, man. So anyway, moving on. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? People like the success stories. People generally like the success stories. Patrick says, can I go through the niche research method when I'm selecting a new niche? That is way beyond the scope of Q&A, I think. It's a good question. I cover it extensively in my course, and that's actually one reason. I'll just tell you straight up. I cover it really well in my course, and I'm not going to cover it outside of the course. But basically, I can tell you the high level. You brainstorm, look for products, and you do keyword research. But you already knew that, Patrick. And Patrick, I'm going to give you a shout out here. You've been doing awesome, man, on answering questions that people are asking. And you're giving like some encouragement and stuff. So I really appreciate it because I personally have been absent. And much like I'm not paying attention to some of the chat going on, which I appreciate, Josh. What's going on, man? Um, Basically, I've been ignoring comments. I just look through to get ideas, but um, it's been interesting. Okay, moving on. Let's see if we got some more questions here before we finish up. So for the people that are hopping on, I'm probably gonna for the people that are hopping on and missed the beginning, it's been very busy. I decided to take a little break from some of the YouTube Q and A's. My wife and I are moving. It's been very busy. Producing more content has been very low on the priority list, and it's been kind of fun to just not feel obligated. I have, however, been working on a podcast, which is actually I'm enjoying it a lot more than some of the video work that I've been doing before, just because um, with the podcast, there's it's interesting, right? I'm separated more from the audience, so it's harder to get feedback. However, I understand a lot of things that are happening on the YouTube side. So, all right, let me find some of these questions here. Contain questions. Boom. Okay, yeah. So moving out of the Bozeman area down to Boulder, Colorado. So still in the Rockies, though a little bit further away than a little bit further away from the mountains than we are here in Bozeman. The mountains are pretty close here, but it is also a little bit warmer. It's pretty nice. It's a little bit warmer down in Boulder. So yeah, it's been hectic selling the place. Got to find a new place to live. One interesting fact some people can appreciate is I have a lot of beer. A lot of it is not in a transportable um, like container or anything like that. So I need to bottle it and then get it down. And we're talking like tons and tons of uh, tons and tons of beer. I think it's probably, I'm trying to think. It'll end up being about 40 gallons of beer or something. No, no, sorry. Maybe like 25 to 30 gallons of beer. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's more than we could drink in the amount of time that we have. But see, the thing, some of it is meant to age. So, yeah, it's meant to age. Okay. So as we're going through here, someone says, I made 3 sales on my first week. I sold couple products, vitamins, a book, and a PC adapter. However, it says that I made 0 revenue. Did I do something wrong, or is this all part of the process at the beginning? Maybe it was my links. I did just give the direct link to my Amazon instead of links to those products specifically. And this is sent in by Oruam. So there's a couple things that could happen. If you make the sales, that's fine, but you don't get the revenue on your report, the commission on your report until it's shipped. So if it's not shipped, you don't get it yet. Additionally, if somehow it was someone you know or someone you're related to or someone you the sent products to in the past, Amazon's pretty smart. They could figure out that you know each other, but probably it was just the fact that they weren't shipped yet. Boss says, no one seems to be talking about geo-targeting eBay affiliate links. You want to use them, but you don't know if they could be loaded, da 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 da. So I don't know anything on the eBay side, but I would suspect that either there's documentation on it or you'll be able to find a plugin that will do it. So I have no idea, but that is definitely one of those things that you should be able to Google. I would, if you can't find a video on it, try and find a just a blog post, because probably if there is a way to do it and it's profitable, someone will have made a plugin at this point that you could probably purchase. Okay, I'm going to take a quick look at the chat here and answer a few of those questions really quick. And sorry if the audio wasn't as good today, or the video, or whatever. So I'm just going to flip through a couple of these, but can I go through something? Echo, what's going on? And then we have, okay, someone, Ashani asks if changing a category will affect SEO. Um, Potentially, but I don't think it's going to be like a direct correlation. Josh says there's a lot of chatter about hitting guest posts with PBNs for added power. You know what? I don't use PBNs anymore, but when I use PBNs, I did hit, actually, I didn't ever hit guest post with PBNs because I didn't feel like that would be a ethical thing to do. However, I thought of it many times, but I was like, hey, I don't want to send potentially bad links to people's sites. However, I have guest posted and linked to other guest posts that I've done. And I have, when I use PBNs, which I don't anymore, but when I use PBNs, I definitely did multiple layers of PBNs there. All right. Philip says, you notice that the product review articles do not rank unless there is a few paragraphs with subheadings like a buyer's guide. Any thoughts on that? No, I can't argue with what you observe. So that sounds interesting. Wesley says, am I moving to Chiang Mai? Nope, just a little further south. Jack says, currently applying changes to your site. You focused on fashion with 150,000 products, a different approach to niche sites, but the practices can still be applied. Okay, that sounds interesting. Good luck with that. Thanks, Patrick, about the move. Um, Richard says, is it possible to share the success story? Yeah, definitely. Just shoot me an email, or you can go to the contact form on Niche Site Project. And then, okay, Raymond says he is wondering about building a site in another language. Go for it. I think that's a smart thing to do if you have the capability. And Richard says, you've used the KGR and it works wonders. Yeah, so definitely would like to hear the story. If you can, in your initial email, it'd be great if you paste or copy or send some files of screenshots of your earnings and traffic, just so I have a reference point. All right, cool. Well, I think I answered all the questions that popped up for now. I think what I may do is during like the move period, I'm going to potentially do more live streams like this. I will re-listen to the audio and I will check out like how this ends up being uploaded and the quality and stuff like that. But there's no pre-production on these videos, and if I have a thing that I'm planning on talking about specifically or a set of questions, then it takes a little of the pressure off, because then I could just answer the interesting stuff, kind of ignore the stuff that people should be able to find on their own, and rely on the good people like Patrick and Jaron and some of the other folks, Josh, some of the usual suspects, Adrian, to go ahead and just like answer questions that are simple, point them in the right direction, and all that stuff. Take the pressure off me a little bit, which is nice. All right, everyone, have a good day. We'll catch